Hey everyone, Ann O'Connell here with OC Publishing, and welcome to WIP Tips. Every once in a while, we like to hop on here and give some advice for folks who are, working on a book and, maybe are looking for some input on different ways to make it work. From character development to writing your plots to finding those the arcs that make your characters come alive and your story becomes suspenseful. But sometimes it's just hard to get started. So I had a really great author journey interview recently. It was actually with Elaine McCluskey. We had so much fun. And she talks about having a spare parts file. And I laughed at that and I said, oh my goodness, I have so many of those. So one of the things that I always advise an author to do is to create what I call a dump file. So there might be many of those dumps in different spare parts files and labeled differently. So the other day when I sat down to work on my latest novel, I was a bit stuck and I thought, you know what? I've got notes all over the place. So I started just printing out my spare parts files. And then I grabbed my handy dandy highlighters. And then I did this. So here is just one of my spare parts files. And it literally is a dump file. So it has all kinds of random thoughts and ideas and scene ideas and a little bit of dialogue here and there, maybe a bit of character development. So what I did is I color coded. So orange is locations and scenes, purple is plot points and character development, the yellow is facts and statistics, and the pink is atmosphere and descriptions. You can call them anything you want, but these are kind of big picture. So if I'm writing and all of a sudden, so in this particular novel that I'm working on, it's number 3 in the Deep Mysteries, and I start writing about one of the locations that is key to the whole plot line, I go back to my notes to the locations and scenes, and I make sure that all of the thoughts and ideas and brilliant aha moments that I may have had over the last year. So I've been keeping spare parts files for this book for, oh gosh, at least 10 years. So there's a lot of random thoughts. So then if you look at what I've started highlighting, you can really see how random it is. So for me to just go into that document, it would get a little bit, frustrating to try and pick out the things that I was looking for. So that works for me. And here's another one of my spare parts files that has lots of plot point ideas. So that's really just a little quick and dirty piece of advice. Some people like to use software programs. One of them that I have tried in the past is called Scrivener, and it's a very comprehensive writing software tool. And if you're the type of person that needs a little more, little more foundation and framework, then, and you're maybe more tech savvy and you don't want to use the highlighters and print out lots of paper, Scrivener is a good option for you. I found it just distracted me from the writing. It was very similar how I already had things set up in Word. So I have files that are named very specifically that are within, like, under the umbrella of that particular book that I'm working on. So for me, Scrivener just complicated things unnecessarily, but some people love it. So if you're also the type that loves using index cards, and writing out plot points and then rearranging them. And I'm kind of at that point that I might need to do that because I have 3 different openings for my book right now. And one of my friends had made a suggestion the other day. And initially I'm like, oh, no, I can't change it. And I'm like, you know what? It's early enough in the process that I should probably explore that idea, because it really was a good idea to really draw people into the story. So Shout out to my friend Bruce. Thank you for the idea. I am working on it. So those note cards, some people like the actual physical note cards so they can spread them out on the floor or tape them up on the wall so they're right in front of your face. But Scrivener has a section in it that is note cards. So there's like a little, it looks like a little bulletin board. The image is like a little bulletin board, and you can paste your notes and rearrange them. So some people prefer to do it that way. I'm more of a tactile, like I like having my markers in my hand. I like having my my little notes, and this is easier for me, like if it's always beside me. And then what I do as I use one of the notes or one of the spare parts, I put a big check or a big X through it. So then it also is very satisfying when I look at a page and all of the checks are there. And I'm like, okay, so, and once everything is checked off, I just file it away, and then I don't have to go back to it again. And of course, there's an electronic version too, so lots of backup. And sometimes I might exit out because I've decided not to use it, but then I might decide, oh, wait a minute, let's go back and have a quick look at those. So that's just my little WIP tip, helpful hint for your work in progress. And if you have any thoughts, or if there's a way that you like to do things, and like I said, there's no right or wrong. Whatever works best for you is the way that you need to do it. But exploring different ways, finding out what other people do that works for them and giving it a try is always a lot of fun. But feel free to put in the comments, the way that you like to get started. Mine is a dump file, and then collecting all those spare parts file, like Elaine told me, the spare parts file. So that was really funny. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope that your writing is coming along and that you've had a really good start on your book and you're on a roll. But if you're not, pop a comment in and ask a question, and be happy to answer any questions for you. So for now, I'll say goodbye, and I'm glad that you tuned in to this WIP tip, helpful hints for your work in progress. And we'll see you again next week for an author journey. So again, bye for now. Anne O'Connell with OC Publishing. You have a wonderful day.